I seem to have run out of silly hats. Terrible shame. I saw one at Goodwill yesterday and I didn't pick it up. I am a fool. Right, Friday, Q&A, fan mail. Lovely. Really no Makerspace news other than the fact that it's damp and I have leaks that I need to deal with, but I can't because it's damp. I am vexed. I'm having a wonderful time doing the loadout videos. You guys seem to be enjoying them as well. What are you dripping on? You guys seem to be enjoying them as well. I'm hoping to get one out tonight. We will see how that goes. I have some review videos I really need to get because they sent me the stuff and I need to do the video. I'm hoping to do one of the silly loadouts tonight, and then we'll try to get the rest of the serious ones out this weekend. Have crew visiting. We'll see how much I actually get done with loonies running around my place. Events. There is a Pacific Northwest Nerf Club War later this month. Judd from Australia may actually be visiting, so he may get to go to that. That could be awesome. The next big event that I'll be going to is the Penn State Invitational HVZ, which will kind of be a dry run for End War, which will be pretty cool. Hopefully we'll be traveling with Corporal Nikon, so that should be cool. Next Q&A is going to be my 100th Q&A, which the sheer amount of stuff you've sent me is absolutely baffling, and some of the questions have been fabulous. For the 100th video, I'm going to open it up to questions for the entire crew. Any member of the crew, whether it be Seamstress at Arms, Lieutenant Wolfric, Sergeant Major Kyle, obviously myself, any of the local crew, Nikon, Luchathor 13, Brett, Sergeant Deplorable, Corporal Nikon, I think I already said that, Rook. Any of those guys you want to ask questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section, and I will get them to answer them, hopefully in little video clips, but if not, I'll just read their answers. Should be fun. Definitely won't be able to assemble us all for that, but might have some of them there. We'll see. We will see. If you ask enough questions like tonight, there's going to be crew around this weekend, and I might be able to get them to answer them then. So, yeah, should be fun. Anyway. Put your questions down in the comment section of this video for that one. Here we go. Questions. Epleprechaun. What is your favorite D&D class and edition? I'm still a fan of 3.5 or Pathfinder, and Dwarven Cleric is still my favorite class and race to play combo. Flips for fun. What is your favorite primary and secondary? I really don't have one. Obviously, Ire is still definitely a favorite of mine. Tyr would be a lot of fun, but I generally would never use him as just a primary. This one's gonna be a lot of fun. Getting a lot of questions about what's going on up in here. You'll get details when I'm allowed to give them. It's gonna be neat. Nerf Blaster Productions. What would be a decent mod kit to get my Strife longer ranges and higher FPS at a cheap price? The cheapest improvement you can really get is either just a pair of IMRs, which I don't recommend because they're just a bad habit. But for actual upgrades, getting a pair of Honey Badgers and then just running them on regular AA's will actually give you a boost. And then if you actually run them on even better batteries, like a LiPo, you can actually get very, very good performance out of them. They have a wide range of what batteries they will function on. I need to actually do a video and really test it all out, but yeah, that's where I would start, because you can just swap the motors in and disable the thermistor, and it'll actually give you a significant boost. Obviously, your battery life will go down, but that's why you switch to LiPo. So, well. Leonard Rozdoska. How would you make a Nerf tank? What do you mean by Nerf tank? You mean like a foam tank? That would be weird. Probably a PVC frame and then a foam shell and have a bunch of guys carrying it around. Have a Titan as the barrel and, maybe some gunners. But for like an actual APC, I've often considered armor plating, probably using like foam or something. Like a a really cheap minivan, so you actually have the side hatch to deploy troops and the back hatch to deploy troops, and maybe cut a top hatch if you're, wrecking the thing already. I would someday love to have an ATV, like a Polaris Ranger with treads, and just fully Mad Max it out for HVZ. Yeah, that's what I would do if I had the money. Samson7180. I'm making a Hailfire MP40. NP40? And I'm having trouble with the barrel. What would look better? Attach a barrel attachment and glue a longer barrel, or just glue the barrel to the blaster shell? Barrel attachment, obviously. Modular. It's the way to go. Ben Rogers. Hey, Captain. Have you seen the Ultramarine movie? Not that I know of. Link? Give me a link. Hook me up. Work with me. The Green Messer. Favorite ancient Jedi and Sith from the Old Republic? Uden and Exar Kun, because he's got an X in his name. Bradley Raffle. Would you sell Demolisher rockets? No. Giovanni DeRose. What is the most comfortable Nerf grip? Most comfortable is a really subjective term. Would you believe it or not, I have not, in the copious amounts of free time that I have, gone through and subjectively or objectively measured the comfort of Nerf grips. Couldn't tell you. I got nothing. Arvox, Knight of Steel. How would you create some body armor for nerfing without purchasing legitimate body armor? Cardboard and duct tape. Or foam. I mean, cosplay armor. I hit the wrong camera. I'm actually filming this on both my phone, which I usually film on, and a camera that I was given to review. It's right below this one, and we'll see if it has any decent footage. If it does, I might start using it for this kind of stuff. It didn't seem to do well at the close-up stuff, the filming top-down stuff. This is a little bit further away. We'll see if it has decent quality. Metsassin. How many packets of Skittles will you bring back to the States? So, if you're not aware, European Skittles still have lime as the green flavor instead of that horrific green apple that is subjected upon us poor Americans. I plan to bring back so many Skittles that it gets me in trouble at customs. Austin Black. When you get your Lego room up and running, do you plan to have an area dedicated to Star Wars? I don't know that I'll have an area that is specifically dedicated to it. There will be Star Wars sets all around the place, and there is kind of a shelf area that will probably then have mostly Star Wars, but there isn't going to be like a big diorama like my castle and my pirate are going to have. Jacob John Faxholt. Have you tried any VR games or experiences? Oh, yes, yes. And they made me quite horrifically motion sick. Royal Skull Gaming. Have you ever cosplayed as a Viking? Cosplayed? No. Well, not as a Viking. I went to the University of Idaho, whose mascot are the Vandals, which were not a Viking group. They were a Germanic tribe, like the Goths or the Visigoths. And during one of the homecoming parades, I got to be a Vandal. And not like the goofy foam-headed mascot one, but an actual... I was in my chainmail armor and leather jerkin and had a round shield and a battle axe and a proper helmet and all of that. And it was actually really cool looking. It was really neat for me. Like, oh, is this what a Vandal would be like? Like, so they were Vikings? And like, yeah, no, not really. They kind of, they viked. Vikinged? They went Viking. I think that's the proper term. They went Viking. They were all over the place. Like, I think they sacked both Carthage and Rome. Nefump 47. What do you think would be a good blaster to use for a reactor ball proton pack blaster? The one I plan to use is the electronic bazooka. Because it's big and beefy, and I think it will work well. I don't know, I've never opened one up to modify it, but that's the one I plan to use. I also want to eventually try to use one to fire Demolisher rockets, or something akin to Demolisher rockets. This weekend I'm actually going to be attempting for the first time to make my own Demolisher rockets. A member of the crew came up with a method that seems to work fairly well, so we're going to give it a try, make a video on it, and if that works, they might actually work in that to fire, essentially, rockets semi-automatic, which would be fabulous. Dustin Bergen. Of all the hammer shots behind you, how many are modded? And what is the most common mod that you did to them? Oh, probably 6 or 7 out of the nearly 2 dozen. Most of them are stock. And I did, a couple of them have Gavin Fuzzy cylinders, and those ones work the best. I also have some printed cylinders, 7-round printed cylinders that just don't really work that well. And they have spring upgrades, and then the cylinders, and they're not worth the effort for that. Quite frankly, I prefer the Gavin Fuzzy ones are fantastic, and the orange Modworks 6-round cylinders are fabulous. But the printed ones that I was trying on Thingiverse just didn't work out well. But I think I've got 1 or 2 of the ones with a stock cylinder that then have spring mods, but I think that's about it. Victoria Stobble. What a fabulous name. How would you go about making a Nerf-safe foam rapier? Oh, I'd never even thought of that. Ooh. I would probably... You would need a fairly slim, like really thin pool noodle or something along those lines. And then instead of like a PVC core, I would use a PEX core, which is a flexible hose. We actually experimented with using PEX to make pikes back when I did rapier in the Empire of Adria. Never went anywhere, but that I think a PEX core might give you. It would be real floppy, but as long as you're doing primarily thrusting, which is what you should be doing with a rapier, I think it would give you enough flex to not hurt somebody. Polar Flare. Have you seen the Megalodon shotgun drum? Of course I have. What are your thoughts on it? It's awesome. I want one. I don't know that my printer is large enough to print it. Probably. I hope so, because I want one. I've got the Megalodon finally. Yes. Itchy Prince 379. What is your recommendation for the cheapest and most consistent rival ammunition? You can't have both. You cannot have cheap and consistent. You either get absolute garbage that was the dregs from the good ammo, or you're going to have to pay for it. Proton rounds are, in my opinion, obviously the best, followed by headshot. Those are really the only 2 that I will even bother buying at this point. I've reviewed a whole bunch and they were just garbage. I don't even like Nerf brand, quite frankly. I favor headshot or the proton rounds. And finally, Spock of Zeech. Do you think a Nerf Fat Man, like from the Fallout games, would be war practical? First of all, define war practical. If it's just, launching like a Nerf foam football, I mean, it'd be great for shield busting if you could hit anything, but I imagine the reload rate would be atrocious. The trick would be if you could somehow actually develop an area of effect. So if there was some way that you could determine if you're within this distance of where this thing hits, you're all tagged. But that would be pretty difficult in a Nerf war. Now, on my property, I eventually do plan to get one of those spray paint rollers that they use for like marking out football field lines, and actually, for some games, have a grid on the battlefield. And if like a rocket or a Demolisher rocket or a Titan rocket or whatever lands in the square you're in, then you're tagged. It doesn't matter if it was on the far edge, however far away it was, and if the line's here and it lands here and you're here, you're fine. But just to allow for area of effect, and I think it would allow for some really fun and silly games. Oh yeah, if you had something like a mechanic to make it do area of effect, yeah, something like that would be very effective. But trying to get single tags with something like that, not so much. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Hit! Lovely. All right. Well, I've instituted a new package opening policy, which is I open them as I get them so I don't end up with a pile of packages that's been sitting around for 2 weeks because people are like, your package arrived, why haven't you opened it? And because I want to open my stuff. Plus, when I open them all at once, I end up with a mountain of boxes and stuff, and it makes a mess. So, I've already opened a bunch of stuff, but I've got a couple of stuff here that I haven't opened yet. It'll all get spliced together. You wouldn't even know, well, you might know, but you might not know if I hadn't told you, but I did! Loot! Alright, I have a letter and something that I'm pretty sure is for review, but I'm gonna open it anyway, then we'll cut to the spliced in stuff. And then I'll go to some sort of an outro. Alright, we have a letter here from the Nerf modding nerd. Sent me a Nerf patch. Look at that. Nerf. Hello, Captain. I just wanted to wish you a Happy New Year. Here is one of my patches. Sorry I don't have any Velcro on at the moment. Hope you like it. The Nerf modding nerd. Well, that is awesome and to the point. I do like it. That is really cool. Oh, it actually says nerd. Nerd, but in the Nerf, I dig it. And I can put Velcro on patches. I have Velcro. Very cool. Thank you. That is awesome. All right. What was this? They sent me a thing. It just says components. Oh, right. This is from Banggood, I believe. Yep. It is part of a Strife kit from Banggood. Very cool. All right. Yeah. Ooh, look at all that rail. Cool. Okay. So that'll get reviewed. All right. On to the stuff I've already opened, but you wouldn't know that if I hadn't have told you and if it wasn't extremely obvious. I didn't even turn on all the lights. There, now the lights are on. I'm currently joined by Corporal Nikon, who will get to enjoy the joy of seeing the really cool stuff you guys send me. So, we're going to start with this, which comes to me from a James Powers, and it is a tube, which is unusual. The tube? I don't get a lot of tubes. I don't know what it is, but I like it already. Ahoy, Captain. Happy Yule. I hope this letter finds you well. It does. Does it find you well?
Fairly well.
He is well.
I'm well.
You didn't ask, but now you know. Getting the chance to meet you at Ragnar Oktoberfest was awesome. Included is the letter. In this letter is an early draft of the electrical upgrade for Ire that we discussed. I compiled it based off of our conversation and the information on Ire's internals in your video. These preliminary plans lack some values because I did not know the specifications of all parts. As time and funding allows, I will acquire components and begin testing designs to further refine these plans. Please contact me with any details you wish to add and corrections to any mistakes or missing information. I look forward to collaborating on this project with you. I also included a USB drive with X-Strike and auxiliary logos that I designed. I get the coolest stuff, man. The program that I'm currently using doesn't export units into STL files, but the diameter is 32.25 millimeters, or roughly 1.5 inches. This might just be jumping off point that I need to help launch my new project, Xanos Armory. An online source for foam-based weaponry, from EVA foam and armor to custom blasters for LARPs, wars, HVZs, or cosplay. During the completion of Ire's upgrades, maybe I could lend my skills in the development and fabrication of your Warhammer 40k Space Marine Power Armor. I would love that. I've been wanting to do that for years. I look forward to hearing from you. Bangarang, Jim, a.k.a. Xanos, the journeyman foamsmith. And it's got a logo. And this is not autofocused. I apologize for that. All right, well, let's take a look. Apparently there's a USB drive. There is indeed a 16 gig one. I remember when, 250 megs was amazing, and now just mail 16 gigs to a stranger. All right.
Like you do.
Check that out.
It's an actual wiring diagram.
An actual, proper, full, professionally done wiring diagram.
That is just neat.
He's got the ammo counter input, yes, ammo counter. I don't know if there's that other. Yep, there's a power switch on that. Yeah, the LED is actually linked off of that as well. Step down because it is a different voltage. I don't know if I'm actually going to end up with a 3S or a 4S in the end, so that might be one thing. The Titan pump is 3S. The main motor will operate on 3S. The UV switch, I would probably go ahead and try to find a UV LED that's just 12 volts, because that would just be easier. Primary voltmeter. Yep.
Man.
That is... See?
You have the coolest things.
I really do. That is awesome. Yes, I will definitely... It definitely needs a complete overhaul, and one of the things that I want to do is reduce it down to a single battery system instead of 4 different voltages like it has now. I think it has 3 different voltages, but it's got lots of different... I'm going to toss that and this in there as well.
Do you want that back in there?
Lovely.
That is rad.
That is cool. Alright, we know what the next little one. This comes to me from an Owen Andrews. Sounds broken.
Might be. Might be something for you to fix. Might be something that someone else fixed and they need you to refix. Might be something fully functional. Do you want Daddy to help you with that, or?
Do you use this for spreading butter, or...?
Cutting cardboard.
Good lord.
Brute force, my guy.
Ah, I got it.
See?
Alright, what do we got?
Oh,
What?
man. I had one of those when I was about 10.
Did you now?
Yeah.
Milton Bradley.
Yeah, bud.
And 2 magazines for it.
Yeah. And a
What?
big old sprang.
What?
Oh, man. I haven't seen one of these in years. Why? What is that for? What even is that for?
Is there a year?
I have no idea. Oh, man, I haven't seen one of these in years. Double A's.
95. Which means it was probably released then in 96, because it tends to be how things work.
Hold up a minute. Nope. Right, that's where your spare goes.
Yep. Man.
That thing was super rad when I was a kid.
Oh, I'll bet. I mean, in 95, that was pretty much a damn near infinite amount of ammunition.
Uh-huh. That was the cat's meow.
What else do we have in here? We've got 8 glow-in-the-dark sticky darts.
Wow. I have never seen those.
That, I think they came with the Firefly, because it had that strobe that turned on the lights.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That is, you can tell by the foam that is old school darts, but in really good condition.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is awesome. Oh, look! A note. Perhaps there shall be answers
Personalized gift.
to the questions that we didn't ask. Dear Captain Xavier, here is the Milton Bradley Spitfire. That paint job is just awesome, too.
Yep.
And the vintage micro darts, I've also sent along those odd glow darts. And this odd spring that I could probably bludgeon a moose to death with. The spring is too large and stout for any of my blasters, but I thought you might be able to use it. Sorry about the horrible handwriting. I keep telling people you should see mine. I expect you will be able to send me that Retaliator sometime after you've opened this. Have fun. Late Merry Christmas. Hope this isn't damaged by a UPS or USPS. Didn't seem to be. Please could you chrono this with both its original pineapple rings and vortex discs. I don't have a chronograph and I'm really curious. That thing fires?
Do you have
vortex?
It might. Do you have double A's?
Do I have double A's?
Might have to do it by hand.
We'll just have to wait until the curator and I cover this thing in something and find batteries. Well, that is awesome. It will definitely get covered in Forgotten Nerf, even though it's not Nerf, and we will definitely give it a look. Which one should we open next?
Yes.
Ryan or Dustin?
I would say Dustin.
All right, here we go. From Mr. D-Baggin, who has sent me many a things and commented many a times. Lord have mercy. Dearest Captain, first of all, might I say that I hope this letter and package find you on a good day. It has been a good day. It was damp earlier, but there were adventures and it was lovely. Some good food, too.
Very good food.
If they do, phenomenal. If not, I hope the day gets better for you moving on from that dismal statement. Plane! What? Where? Sorry about that. Planes tend to fly over my apartment, similar to how trains pass your property. Oh, I see, that makes sense. Which brings me to the question I want to ask. They are as follows. Anytime you say train, do you lose yours of thought? Sometimes. Sometimes I'm able to just seamlessly go right back into the middle of the sentence, and sometimes it really was a... Where was I?
That one got away from me.
But I edit all that out so you don't tell.
Just as you're going to edit all of this out. So we can't
what
tell.
is the longest your beard has ever been? I must say, you can grow one heck of a beard. Probably right around when I was going to the first GaryNerf battle, because it was long enough that I could do double braids in it. It's not quite that long now. But I've never actually, measured it. So... 3. How was your holiday season? Christmas, New Year's. By the time you read this, it will be 2020. It was actually pretty good. I didn't end up traveling to see family, unfortunately, due to car issues, but I ended up traveling to hang out with crew and friends, which was also awesome.
Found family's as good as family.
Yep. Now for a little more serious talk, sort of. I simply love watching your reaction to my GIFs. I've watched those previous Friday fan mail videos multiple times. I think it might be an ego thing, but I have no idea. I like to rewatch a lot of your videos, especially your LEGO videos, which I am a huge fan of as well. Speaking of old videos, if you recall, I asked your thoughts on an N-Force Trident. I asked you that because at the time I had planned to build one, if not the only one. At the time of this writing, it is nearly complete. When it is fully complete, I'll send you pictures, and hopefully it'll end up in featured fan build. Oh, it definitely will. I would love to see a Nerf Trident. That would actually be really cool. I'll conclude this long ramble of a letter by saying that I look forward to nerfing with you in the future, whether I make it out to Washington, or you come to South Dakota, or you and I happen to be at the same event. However it happens, I'll surely be something to remember. Bangarang! I will be in Minnesota, which is probably the closest to North Dakota I'm going to be in a while, at the anti-bullying event. I've already been invited, so that would be a good one to go to because it was actually really fun. And there will hopefully actually be a blastable battle because I had 50 of them.
That would be fantastic.
And it was in this huge gymnasium, and one pop made the whole place reverberate, and so 20 people having a little brawl with them was just pow, 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 pow. It was so dumb. A man with a pulsator would be king.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, that was from General Ace. And I picked up a general.
Could have a general under your
the patches included in this box don't have Velcro on the back, just as a heads up. Well, luckily I have sticky back Velcro. Also, do you still keep all letters that are sent to you? I do. I've got 2 drawers full now. I like them. Okay, well, top of the box, we have a big salvo, which is going to make Brett super jealous because he desperately wants one of these, and he's not getting any of the 3 that I have. Oh.
That holds air quite well.
Yeah. That is in incredibly good condition.
It's in very good shape.
Barely any scratches. The trigger is still horribly uncomfortable, but there's nothing you can do. Well, there's plenty you can do about that. But
the return is perfect on it.
Yeah, I still want to because there's pretty much everything back here is just completely empty. I would love to be able to put a big honking solenoid or a linear actuator and shoulder mount this thing and just have a Demolisher rocket pod.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty rad.
That would be pretty rad. All right, what else do we got in here? Another one of these. These are fun. Oh, they're mean too. I've got 2 of them that are a slightly different design in black. They were sent to me the same day by 2 completely different people, and I didn't even know they existed until that day. It's just neat. These are fun.
Gross.
They are.
I like it.
They're quite. What do we got here? Marshmallow launcher. Very cool. Very cool. Oh!
If only we had marshmallows.
It's the double crossbow. Now, I have one of these in my collection currently that has the prod, but the lower post is broken. So between this one and that one, I should be able to make one fully assembled one.
Beautiful.
And it'll look better on the collection. So that is pretty awesome. This is definitely the second one of these I've been sent.
Cool.
Like these ceramic pistols. I don't know where the other one is, but they're eventually going to be over on my mantle. And I don't think it's the same design, which is even better because variety is the spice of life.
Absolutely.
The matched pair would also be cool, but that is... Actually, I think that's probably cast iron.
Looks that way.
Oh, that's even cooler. You can bludgeon a zombie to death with it. Very, very cool. Oh, I have always wanted one of these.
Oh, man. So,
It's
just
in
an
horrific condition.
Just an entire shoulder-mounted arsenal now, though.
Yeah, well, this one had rockets that the spring was in the rocket, so it's like the mortars where it went down and then you pushed the thing and it fired. And this one's in terrible condition, but I'm sure I can do something with it.
Something filthy with it.
Filthy.
Probably.
Filthy. I don't know. Put an XBZ in there or something.
And some patches.
And some patches. Oh! Take this away. Filthy. Got a red with black hourglass patch.
Oh, I know someone who would love that.
A canine core patch. And a captain patch. Well, that is awesome. That's in Black Widow.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Red and black.
Oh, you.
Wonder whose color
you.
scheme that is.
Hi. Deadpool?
Also that.
Evil Russia?
Also that. Maybe a corporal that you've got who might be talking to you right now. Potentially.
I haven't seen Corporal Francis in years.
It's weird that he's talking to you right now.
He's in my head.
Yeah. No,
He's
I
in my
understand.
head.
Maybe those blasters, put them in the box and get the last one open.
Yeah. Would you like a red and black hourglass patch?
I would kill a man for it.
Do you know anyone who would wear this?
I do in fact.
Cool. We'll let them have that.
Thank you.
Do I know anyone
Thank
with a
you.
dog? I don't know anyone with a dog.
The big salvo.
Oh, yeah. Can't have it, Brent. It's mine.
He's a tiny nerd.
Suck it, nerd. Works Intel. What a geek.
Says the guy who works at Dell.
Hey. We only had one of the nerdiest commercial lines ever.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Of course, the Intel one's at the Blue Man Group, so, I mean,
Thanks
those
a
were
lot.
pretty awesome.
Thanks a lot, Tobias.
I actually really enjoyed those, like where they had the one where they were catapulting to make the column and then using a hose to make the column, and then the last guy just catapulted himself, splatted up against it, and slid down to make the third for the Intel 3 logo. I got a Santa Claus keyring, Lego keyring. Very cool. Classic Santa Claus using a pirate cap and a wizard beard.
Why would you?
I much prefer classics.
Well, and that makes it look like a Gandalf situation. Oh, goodness.
Lord have mercy. Oh, there better be a note in here somewhere. There had better be a note.
Let's clear some space and see.
Oh, a jester. I don't see a note. I think I used to have some of these.
Looking the wrong side? We did not. There does not appear to be a note, sir.
The nerve of some people. Sending me cool stuff with no note. They have sent me the Nitro Quad, which is a wrist-mounted 4-shot thing.
Huh.
I don't even know how it works, and it's in the package,
Yeah.
so I can't play with it. Because I am not a savage.
Okay.
Are,
No.
What was that?
No, sir.
No, by all means.
No.
Speak your mind.
No.
Either I am a savage, or you think I should be a savage.
That was the one. The second one.
The second one, you should
second
just shred it.
Yes.
Okay.
On camera.
The curator would come down here and murder me in my
He
sleep.
would eviscerate you.
Yeah, he would just sit on me while I slept. And just keep whispering quietly. You know what you did. Shh.
It's sleepy time. It's sleepy time now, Captain.
I still don't know how it works. So it's got multiple parts, clips together. This clips onto the top, and you hold it like brass knuckles, but with quad barrels on the top.
Good lord.
Put the darts in, you pump it up. The number on the control knob should be lined up as shown to fire corresponding darts.
Corresponding number of darts, or what?
I don't know.
Like, what are we doing?
We've got A, C, D, A, B. I don't know what do the letters mean?
I'm not knowing.
I don't know.
There's only one way to find out.
Torque knob adjusts for 1 or 2 dart splits. Oh, I see.
Oh, that's what we've got going on here. These are party poppers.
I want to play with it. I want to play with it. Oh, man. Oh.
We've got confetti cylinders.
Can we get an F in the comments for my lack of being able to play with this? Apparently that's a thing. I don't know what it means, actually, but... What? Oh, yeah.
Squeeze the trigger.
I know what it does.
Do it. Do it.
No! It's semi-automatic. I love it.
Semi-automatic glitter cannon.
It's more confetti,
Sure.
but it's still pretty bad.
It's glitter.
And then there's a bag of Legos. Bag of Lego. I apologize. So we've got one Black Falcon, which was always one of my favorite Lego factions from back in the late 80s, early 90s. And then we've got some of the pastel blue, which is my least favorite faction, because it's pastel blue. Be gray or be nothing.
You're an orange and black guy.
Yeah.
I get it.
Here's a purple dude. I'm fairly okay with that.
Man, any time that I built armies, I had this guy with the pennant.
Yeah.
He was always at the front of the army, and he always died first.
Well, yeah, you always shoot the guy with the banner first, and someone else picks it up, and it makes it really easy. Oh, shoot that guy next. Yep. Oh, someone else picked it back. We got 2 missing helmets, but that's quite all right. We've got an older king. He was the king from one of the older lines. And then we've got some of the newer crown knights. And I've got a large army of them, and I like that they had the metallic armor.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, and he did the same thing that I always do.
Which is...
They usually actually have a decorative torso underneath, but if you replace it with a blank one when you put the armor on, you get twice as many people that you can then build.
Fact.
Yeah. As long as you have extra helmets. Or you don't mind having bald guys. And then we've got one bad guy in the cool black. With a skull and the metal ribcage looking.
Some sort of lich knight.
Yeah, with a flail.
Why wouldn't you?
Which is never limp.
If I were going to be a lich knight, I would carry a never limp flail. That would be my weapon of choice, obviously.
What's holding it up? Anger. At what? The living.
Yeah, exactly. You have the audacity to continue to draw breath in front of me.
Oh, well, here I am. No lungs, no consideration for my feelings. I like those halberds.
Very cool, yes.
Awesome. The Nitro Quad will go on the wall in package because I am not a savage. I believe Corporal Fusco has an out-of-package one for me. Right! Well, as per usual, you guys are awesome and you spoil me and you send me the coolest stuff. If you want to send me something, mailing address is down in the description. If you want to have your comment read on this video, put it in the comments of this video. All the other merch links and all that are down there as well, I think. Thank you for watching.